Got it.
Alma, you have such a lovely voice. I love hearing you when you sing that song thread.
You know what's so funny is I can't help but sing along
I
when
know,
I hear
right?
the music. I really like it, and I think I sound amazing. I think I do. I don't know. Anyway, I made it
But
just in
that's not
time for
really
the live.
Alma. That's not really
Oh.
Alma. That's Juniper. And if you all see, we always tag her on our show notes for our podcast episodes. You can find her on Spotify. She has such a beautiful voice. I fell in love with her voice when I first heard it. And I'm like, oh my God, can you please? My throat made a funny noise. That's my throat trying to sing. But have you ever heard of throat singing? that's that. But anyways, I asked her if she could do our song, and she did, and I love it. I fell in love with it. But anyways, enough about my beautiful throat singing. Alma, what movie are we discussing today?
Are we here to discuss a movie?
We are.
I barely made it to the live. I was going to show
You
everybody.
did. You barely made it.
Because I had to go
Oh,
grab
she's
my
not even out of the
Selena.
box.
No, I can't take her out of the box.
How's she
Selena
gonna go like that?
bobblehead. And it's a Funko. And so I got it because it's like, you know, when you got adult money, you get the things, the little toys and things. Yeah. Okay, so we're here to discuss Gremlins from 1984. Yes. So I'll just give a quick summary of the movie, and then we'll do other stuff. Okay.
So it's other stuff. Sounds like
so
sounds naughty. Other stuff.
Because you're naughty, because you're dirty. Okay. So
I guess I'm getting a lump of coal for Christmas. Is it a thing? That's a thing. Right?
It's a comedy. I'm gonna keep talking. Comedy horror directed by Joe Dante and written by Chris Columbus. It draws on legends of folkloric mischievous creatures that cause malfunctions, gremlins, in the British Royal Air Force, going back to World War II, and stars Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates, with Howie Mandel providing the voice of Gizmo, the main Mogwai character. All right.
I always try to imagine, like, picture him doing the voice, and I can't. I can't see him doing it. I mean, we know it is him, but I can't picture him doing it. Mm-hmm. I can't see him.
Like some behind the scenes footage of that.
Oh, I've never seen behind the scenes. Did that
No,
exist?
I said we have to. I don't know. I probably.
I'm sure it did. That's a stupid question.
Specifically was trying to picture it when he was like yelling, bright lights, and I just couldn't do it. But I was trying in my head to see that.
Didn't he do the voice for Bobby's World?
I think he did. Yeah, wasn't that him?
He was his show, but I think he did the voice for Bobby's World. But anyways, all right. Hi, Bianca. How you doing?
Hello.
I like her little cowboy hat.
Oh, look at you. All festive too. Yeah, okay. We got festive.
All right. Yeah. Alma, did you because I was like thinking of other things, I zone out whenever you talk. Did you already tell us the cast and directors?
No, I didn't. The movie is directed by Joe Dante, written by Chris Columbus.
Not that Chris Columbus, you guys.
No, this is a younger version. But no, that's awful to say too. Oh my God. But anyway. Scott Brady as Sheriff Frank, Arnie Moore as Pete's father, Corey Feldman as Pete, Zach Galligan as Billy, Dick Miller as Mr. Futterman, Phoebe Cates as Kate. Did you add in there? Judge Reinhold is in there also. He plays some dude. I
forgot to add him,
but Butthead. Yeah. Frank Welker as the voice of Stripe, and Howie Mandel as the voice of Gizmo.
Yay! And you already told us what the movie is about. So before we start on the movie Gremlins, I know that's why we're all here, but first I have a little bone to pick with movie makers, because we have all this holiday horror.
Talia said bone.
Well, we have all this holiday horror, and we don't have much or at all. Well, we have that one movie, but I had to stop watching it. Hanukkah horror. Where's the Hanukkah horror?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Where is
and
it?
you made me watch it, and my kid, my oldest daughter, is still mad that you made us watch that movie because we wanted to we wanted to do a couple of movies from the
Yeah.
holidays. And so Dahlia found one randomly that was, what was the name of it even?
Hanukkah.
It was just called Hanukkah?
Let's go Hanukkah.
No.
No, it is, I swear. And that's what it's called.
3/4 of the way through watching it, and it was whoa. And then Dahlia calls and says, "Yeah, I'm not watching this anymore. I'm turning it off." And I was like, "No, I have a thing. I have to complete it.
Yeah.
I have to complete the task." And my kid's yelling, "No, she better watch it." She told us to watch it. She better, and she's still bringing it up.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I apologize. Look, here's the thing. I apologize to the people who acted in it. I'm sure that they are wonderful actors and actresses. I just didn't care for the movie. It had everything in the short time that I watched it. It had everything that I don't like in a horror movie. And you said that even when you...
Yeah, I said, I knew you didn't look it up first, which we don't usually.
I didn't. We usually don't.
We don't do that. We just go in blind, react like that.
Yeah.
And so she did the first 10 minutes. I was like, it's already checked all Dahlia's boxes. And I didn't know that you hadn't watched it all the way.
No,
because we're not together, of course. So I didn't know. And so there I was 3/4 of the way, and everyone's, no, there's no way that Dahlia watched this whole movie through. And it's not like I don't have the thing. The thing is that if I start a movie, I'm going to finish it no matter what. So I'm different, like in that I will complete.
I usually do. I'm usually very good. There's only like 3 movies in my life that I'm aware of that I never watched all the way through. And unfortunately, this is one of them. You know the other one. Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Yes, Poltergeist. And we said we were going to say that though. Thanksgiving. Okay.
Wait a minute. Thanksgiving? I don't think I've seen that one.
I'm trying to think really hard. I think I'd have to look it up to see if I saw it. But there's so many that I have gotten through. And then I think it's just like a you just repress it so that you don't have to think about it again. But at least with Hanukkah, I did the bonus that I put in there. I thought it had some good practical effects done in it. But when you start pulling from the bottom of the barrel to look for nice things, and we always compliment the actors.
Oh yeah, they
because I'm like, yeah, that was good. We're like,
they're working
with your job.
They're doing the best that they can with what they were given, and they were having fun with it. I can tell they were having fun with it. But I ended up watching that movie, The Vigil, that you suggested, and I loved it. It was so good. It was so good. Okay. But we're going to be doing a Patreon. No. But we're going to be doing a Patreon episode on that for this month. So, hello, Patreon.com/Nightmare Movie Podcast. But I'm excited to talk about it there because I really, really did enjoy it. Okay, so. And Alma, we said we were going to wear holiday shirts. So can you share I know if anybody's listening to this afterwards.
I'm wearing my Grinch because that's it's my theme.
It's not just Grinch, he's dressed up.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Your cup.
I weirdly accessorize things. I've got a cup all the time, and I've got my Grinch cup, and I've got a Grinch shirt. And I even have Grinch earrings on.
I thought this was Grinch too, but it's not. Okay.
Oh no, it's just a random Christmas head wrap that I have on. But cool. So I always say that I'm like, I accessorize different than when most people say like they accessorize. They they probably got a lot of style and stuff like that. And me, it's like, oh, I even had a matching Grinch mask on. So see, that's how I accessorize with like a.
Well, I do like your earrings, but what does the shirt say?
Oh, look.
Holiday, I can't read it.
Holiday Hoobie Woody.
What's that?
Like mean? He's like, what is holiday? It's like Hoobie Woody. Like, what is it? Like holiday what?
Okay.
You
I
know,
never
did you
watched
watch
The
the
Grinch.
Grinch? Oh,
I've never seen it. Sorry.
oh
I
my
guess
God. I
that makes
even like
me the Grinch. I don't know.
I I even like the little kitty ones, but we
Okay.
mentioned that we were going to bring up those later too.
Yeah. Well, here's my shirt. I'm going to show it off because it does something really cool.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, Dahlia.
So can you see it? Can you see it? It says too
Yeah.
lit to quit. Hey,
She
hey,
promised she
too
wasn't
lit,
going to do that.
too lit to quit. I can't
She
see. Wait, hold on. It
promised.
also does something really cool. It lights
I
up. I'm
wanted
trying to
to
get in the
also-
camera frame. Look at that. Isn't it adorable? It's my
It is really
Hanukkah
cute.
shirt.
And
Okay,
I'm
I'll turn it off.
confused because I can read it the right way, and usually everything is reversed. So that's why I was
Yeah.
looking at my shirt, like trying to read it from the other side. I'm like, I know what it says. Anyway, so yes, so we got.
I'm so
festive
glad I get
with
to
it.
share this shirt again because I don't get to wear it that often, only eight nights a year. And so, I mean, after that,
That's all she's wearing. She doesn't wash it or anything. It's just
I don't
on
wash
all
it.
day.
That's the best part, man. Oh, yeah.
Watch it.
I smell latke on this one.
Remember Latke we ate last
Oh
year?
my
Okay,
God,
never
that was
mind.
ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
My daughter still thinks that I made one of those batches of
Oh
latke
my
because we
God.
had it like 3 different nights or something that when I was visiting,
Yeah.
and I convinced her that
I
I
love
made
that
it.
she thinks that you made them and that she loved them.
Yeah,
That she didn't find anything wrong with them. Because usually, like the teenage daughter, if they're like, butting heads with the mom, they're gonna find that thing to like,
yeah.
I didn't even like them, or
She's
whatever.
like, my mom made some too to get in the spirit with the Adalia. And I was like,
It was
"I-
so precious. I love it.
I did that.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the movie.
Right.
I need to take a breather. Alma, if you can go ahead, and Alma's going to be reading the summary.
I have to play the
to get
trailer
us.
first.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Then I'll be able to catch my breath there.
There
Okay.
you go.
Look at Alma telling me what to do. She's like, what is that person? Not the producer.
We have an outline, man. Come on.
You're the
get with it.
director. That's it. You're the director. All right. Okay. So here's the trailer
Roll.
for y'all.
What is it?
It's your new pet. Number one, you gotta keep him out of bright light. Number two, keep him away from water.
This is incredible.
And probably the most important thing, don't ever feed him after midnight.
Billy, what are these things?
Gremlins. How come a cute little guy like this can turn into 1,000 ugly monsters? That was Mrs. Deagle.
I'll bet every kid in America would like to have one. They might even replace the dog as the family pet.
Okay, in that preview, it showed the part that in the movie I told myself, okay, make sure you mention this, but then I saw it in that trailer right there. When you see all the gremlins walking in the snow and you see them and they look so comical, and that was perfect because I saw that there was no computer graphics, no CGI, none of that. That those were, what are they called? The
Stop motion
yeah,
animation.
stop motion animation and the creatures that these, but that one I believe was stop motion. And that's why it looks so.
I love that. As soon
so
as it
weird.
came on, we all shouted. Okay, because I watched the movie. I tweeted that my husband had never seen this movie before, and I was like, "What?" So, but also because I always have a kid. I got a bunch of kids. Does anybody know that? I got
there's
I got
some
a
that are not
bunch of
even
kids.
yours in there.
This all the time, and there's always somebody who hasn't seen the movie, and so
Yeah.
it's fun to have somebody join like who hasn't seen the movie. But this time it was like, you weren't allowed to watch this movie. Well, it was PG-13. Remember,
Yeah.
it wasn't originally, and then it got made. So anyway, so let's start off talking about the movie. Struggling inventor Randall Peltzer visits a Chinatown antique store, hoping to find a Christmas present for his son Billy. Inside, Randall encounters a small furry creature called a mogwai. The owner, Mr. Wing, refuses to sell Randall the creature, but his grandson secretly overrules him, warning Randall to remember 3 important rules, which we'll discuss in depth. But you know what's really funny about this part? I didn't ever get that this was the dad originally. I thought he was the grandpa.
He's an older gentleman. Yeah,
Mhm.
he is. He is an
And
older gentleman.
but like when I was younger, he's really not that old now that I'm older. But for
Mm.
some reason, I thought it was cute that
Oh, he's
he
got that
was like
salt and
the
pepper
grandpa.
thing going on in his head.
And I also thought it was a cute thing because he got him a little pet. Um, that he was looking for a pet. Like I thought that was a really cute grandpa gift.
Well, I was watching this with Camille, and Camille said, "How old is he supposed to be?" Because he's looking for a present for his kid. You think like a much younger kid, and then when he opens it up, his joy and his happiness is like he's little, but he's like probably 20. He's supposed to be playing a 20-year-old, and in real life, he's actually 20. So
Mhm.
he's playing right around what his actual age is. And he's working, so he's obviously, an adult. Well, not he can be older, but anyways.
Mhm.
But yeah, when he's opening it up, it's like when a little kid opens up their present, like, "Oh, wow, Dad, thank you." It was precious. It was a
Yeah, it was
precious
like
moment.
it was a real, and he was really like, I don't know, I just thought it was such a cute little moment. So
Mhm.
Randall returns home to Kingston Falls where he gives the Mogwai to Billy as the pet. Billy works in local bank but fears that his dog Barney will be put down by the elderly miser Mrs. Deagle. Randall names the Mogwai Gizmo and explains the 3 rules. And everybody knows the 3 rules. You don't get it wet, you don't let in the sunlight, it can kill it, and you do not feed it after midnight. And there goes all the questions. Hi, Sheree.
Well, not just sunlight, bright light is,
Bright light.
yeah, bright light,
Yeah.
bright light.
Bright lights, but the sunlight can kill it. Like they're very like
Exactly.
that's what they said in there.
And
Um,
I gotta mention though, because as much as I like this movie, it is a fun movie. But the beginning was a little racist, if you ask
yeah,
me.
yeah, that's where you go. That's where you go. You have to bring it up because okay, having not seen it in a long time, I don't remember the
Mhm.
last time I watched
Yeah,
it.
me too.
The whole beginning was a little much
I felt uncomfortable
back
watching that
then.
beginning.
Back as a kid thinking, what? I didn't even know until I read the synopsis that they were supposed to be in a Chinatown store or shop or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then in watching it, it's like, okay. What I also thought was funny was that the dad goes in there and he's trying to sell him stuff.
Yes, yes. Oh
He's
my
like, it's
God.
a shop, mister. It doesn't go that way. You buy the stuff. You don't sell your
They need to
stuff.
have that no soliciting sign outside. Every time you go to a store, it says no soliciting. It's like, well, that doesn't
Mhm.
mean me.
Yeah, so he gets the pet, and right away, everything's gonna go wrong. But the first question that my daughter shouted out was, "Midnight, like midnight when?" And when I was a kid, being 5 years old, I'm not the brightest bulb, okay, everybody. No, I was the gullible one in the family. I was the one who could easily be tricked and fooled into everything. And I thought to myself, do they mean like central time? Or like what time? I admit I also thought that the Mogwai was real, but it was probably because our oldest sister was always messing with me and I actually thought that was a real animal pet thing.
Yeah, yeah, you did. You
Yeah.
did actually believe that. I do remember that. But as far as the
It
after
was the
midnight,
80s, man. It
yeah,
was
but you were tiny. You were a cute little tiny gullible child, yes. But as far as the after midnight thing, I read that Zach Galligan was the first person to say out loud. Probably people were thinking it, but out loud while they were filming, it's like, midnight where? It's
yeah,
like they're like they were like, oh, don't
and
think too
then
hard
when
about it.
can you start feeding them again? It just
Right.
says after
But
midnight.
I guess I didn't watch the second one as far as I know, but apparently in the second one they addressed that. Like
Okay. And I
it's
can't
just
really remember that one because I didn't rewatch it, but it had been a long time since I
mhm,
watched this one specifically. So
yeah.
he gets his new pet and it's the cutest thing ever. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's still just as cute.
It's
And I
adorable.
still think
Yes.
the little puppet, it still holds up as being adorable.
The
They made its
singing.
little
Oh,
nostrils flare, the little hum
yeah.
singing that it does.
I love that
But
singing.
also, what is up with him knowing how to talk? Like, why were they like, this is a new pet and it can speak in English?
Maybe it's like a parrot.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, true. Birds can mimic stuff.
And don't huskies talk?
Yeah, they do say I love you. There you go.
There
That's
you
where,
go.
but so he learned all the things that hurt him, like bright lights, which is so sad.
I know. He says that.
And then what was up with that Mrs. Deagle being so angry and mean?
You have to
And
have a Grinch type character in all of these holiday movies. And
she wanted to kill the dog.
the
I was
things
like,
she said, barbecue it. Shouldn't that get you arrested?
why was I
would get
so
you arrested.
enraged by her? It's just a movie. And I'm over here like, oh, the entitlement of this woman.
Who
Oh
is she,
my
Alma? You're
God.
really good with faces and people. Who is she? She looks so familiar, and I didn't ever look it up. Well, if you remember, let me know, because she
Yeah,
she
maybe I
just
will.
seemed so familiar. I was like, who the hell is this woman?
And she was a good actress because I wanted to punch her in the face. I wanted to. She was an awful human being. And then they have that, like, the sad woman outside asking for an extension on like $36 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they really established that we want to see this woman dead.
Oh, wait, did you hear when the little boy said, Mom, I'm hungry, and she walks away, me too. I'm like, okay, we get it. They don't have a lot of money there. Sorry, I'm screaming. Sorry, I'm
And
screaming.
they have her sad standing outside the bank begging
Oh,
this
that was great.
horrible woman.
Okay, this is a
so-
neat little piece of trivia here. The set for Kingston Falls is the same one used for Back to the Future. Both movies were filmed on the Universal Studios backlot.
Oh, that's cool.
Back to the Future.
I reuse the buildings and stuff. Cheapos. Which one? Well, this one was done second because Back to the Future was first, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so. I'm just gonna roll with that. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So, he's got the gizmo. And one night he's staying up, and what's gonna happen? Of course, he's gonna have an accident. He spills water on him, and it pops out like 5 of the little babies. Okay. So this is when he has his friend Pete come over, which is Corey Feldman. And we're like, why is he friends with the neighbor?
I was just It's always
Don't
in
do
the
that,
movies.
people.
Much older. I mean, if it's a cousin or something, that's
It's
fine.
cute. But he's just a random neighbor, and he's hanging out with him, and he's showing him his pet. And I remember originally thinking, oh, he's going to do something bad because, kids get a bad rep that they're going to hurt the little pet. But no, it was the older one. Or no, he did spill it, the water.
Yeah,
it was him, wasn't it? Well, see, then he lived up to the whole, stereotype. And so the little fur balls that pop out and make 5 more babies.
That always makes me sad because he looks like he's in pain.
Yeah,
And
he
he is in
kinda
pain because he's screaming and he's like, "Duh, duh, duh, duh." And it always freaks me out. Even when I was little, even now as an adult, when I saw it happening, it's still freaky looking the way you see it pulsing like boiling water and then poop, 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 poop.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
It's
But
so
yes,
creepy.
the screaming was bad. The bubbling is like torturous, that poor little
Yeah.
baby Gizmo. But
Poor
then
baby.
he made 5 cute babies. And one of them has a little
Well.
stripe on his head. We don't know what happens.
Okay, that's true. I'm sorry. They're adorable. They're all adorable. And then Corey Feldman wants to take one home with him.
Yes, he wants to take one home, but he's like, nah. What he does is he takes the Mogwai to his former science teacher, Mr. Hansen, and spawns another Mogwai. He takes the original gremlin to show him. And this is what happens when you drop water on him. And
That made me mad.
this is a science lab from hell, everyone. Why are they experimenting on these things? That's why we don't have nice things. That's why we can't have nice things.
He knew that it hurt him and he did it.
He did it, and it made another baby. And the little baby that popped out knocks on the box, and they're playing through the box, and that was really cute. And the thing is, though, he keeps it, and he starts doing experiments on him. Like, this is a lab rat. Like, this little thing that speaks and everything, he has him in a cage. And I'm like, why did anybody have a problem with this? Why was we doing this? He totally gave that little Mogwai to him and just left it there to be experimented and tortured.
Totally fine with it. Just walked away.
It's whole sad life. Whose side am I on right now? I think I'm on the gremlin side. Okay. So it's awful. So what happens is Stripe at home, who is the leader, that's the one with the little white little stripe on the top of his head, and the fellow Mogwai trick Billy into feeding them after midnight by severing the power cord to the bedside clock. And they form cocoons, which are disgusting and gross.
They are.
As does Hansen's Mogwai, which soon hatch, and they emerge as a hideous, disgusting looking. No, that's mean. They're misunderstood.
That's mean. That's funny.
the thing is the cocoons and all of that. I love all that effect, but
Mhm.
yeah, I remember my daughter was saying, "Why is there fog all around them? Like they changed the environment around them and the
Yeah, yeah.
and the climate that's surrounding them." But those whole little cocoon things were pretty awesome looking. I like the effects that they used for that. And as a kid, I can see why I thought that was really scary. But as an adult, it's interesting because it's going through different phases, and then they're talking to the teacher, Mr. Hansen, and he's like the evil scientist.
Yep.
And I'm like, this guy's gonna be the first to die. I just know it. The science teacher, I always knew that. And when I remember the movie Tell People, I'm like, people died. It's supposed to be like a horror comedy movie. It's silly, but people are murdered by these gremlins in this movie.
They are. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up. I had this really good. Oh, do you hear the tiny human in the background screaming? Anyways, I'm trying to pull up. I
She's
had some.
experimenting at home on the mob boy too.
Be quiet. She scares me, so I wouldn't put it past her. I had some really good trivia about this. Damn. Okay.
Did you put it on your outline? Well,
I'll look it up
but-
later. Go ahead. Go on.
Okay. So they change. Now, this is the part that I think is a really great part. Okay. So Billy's mom is at home when
Mhm.
these things hatch, which
Yep.
really interesting because Mr. Hansen, the teacher, calls Billy at home and says, "You need to come and see what's going on here." And they hatched, right?
Yep.
This is when the gremlin comes out. I need a cough. Sorry. So he calls him. Why does Billy rush away from home knowing these things hatch and doesn't check on his home where the other cocoon things are, where the other eggs are? He just totally abandons
He
the
did.
home.
He did. But I'm gonna talk about the mom right now. Nothing had happened yet. She just hears what's going on upstairs. They have cute little Gizmo up on the dartboard, and they're throwing darts at him. It's so sad. They're throwing darts at him.
They're
and everything.
abusing him. I
And
forgot that they were
by the
doing
way,
that.
I read that. Sorry, I don't know why I said that twice. I read that on the set, that little puppet animatronic Gizmo, they had so many because it was always breaking down, and apparently putting it up on the dartboard was like the crew's way of having fun, because those things were always breaking, and throwing the darts was kind of like them being able to like vent or whatever. I just thought that was so funny.
Anyways, they were also experimenting down there. So the mom, though, okay, this is where we're going to talk about this woman being the boss. This woman, his mom, first of all, she hears a funny noise upstairs. Okay, so Billy ran off and didn't check up on anything. And he didn't even check on Gizmo. He just left this poor little creature at home alone to take care of itself. Already irresponsible. Come on. And so the mom, she hears a funny noise and she grabs a knife. And you're like, hell yeah. See, the first thing she did,
she didn't even know what
investigate,
exactly.
but she also knows they have a little creature upstairs. I better go check on him. Grabs the knife, and on her own, and I don't know why it really doesn't even cover this when I was reading a synopsis in a couple of places, she killed 4 of those things on her own. So there's 5 gremlins that pop up at home, and she killed 4 of them.
And ugly.
Herself. So like she throws one in the mixer that she turns on, and she does one in the microwave. She stabs one over and over, and then when one of them's in the tree and it attacks her, which is really messed up because I love that because it's Christmas, the Christmas tree's up, and then that one attacks her through the tree, and she manages to save herself, and the son shows up in time. And he shows up in time because he ran home because Mr. Hansen was killed by
by Nacho
at his place by Gremlin at the science. Why is he always there? Why'd they make it that the teacher is living at the school?
They kind of do in a lot of movies, don't they? Because
he fed him after midnight. Yeah. He's there after dark. Like why would they make this man homeless? That like, why did they do that? That's so awful.
Well, he
And then
didn't
they
feed
killed
him
him.
after midnight. He left, and he left his. But who leaves a sandwich behind like that?
But he
left
was
the sandwich
eating
just
there.
sitting
It was
on the
after
counter.
midnight. Yeah, he did. But he
And he
was
just,
already there after
yeah,
midnight. So it
okay.
shows that he is there. They don't even give him a home. And so, yeah, I'm really upset about that. So Billy shows up at home just in time to save his mom, but the mom didn't need any saving. She had already saved herself. But he manages to get her out of the house, and the last little gremlin that's alive there is well, actually there's still the one, Mr. Hansen, right? Or did they get rid of that one in the science lab?
No, I think it escaped because it like if I remember correctly, it was all
Oh yeah, they showed like something that he tore through the
uh-huh.
wall or whatever. But okay, so the mom saved herself. So she's final girl number 1 in the movie.
She did
and
it. She didn't need
she's a
anybody's help.
badass. She's
She didn't wait to
amazing.
be told what to do.
Mhm.
She was on it, and yeah, exactly.
And
But
very creative
go ahead.
kills.
Go ahead.
That's all I said. That they're very creative kills.
Oh, there's a tiny human screaming in the background calling for me, so I'm just gonna have to ignore her. Okay. A couple of the quick things of trivia before we move on, because I wanted to say this in the beginning. You remember when I'm bad with names, the Zach Galligan character, the
Billy, the main character.
Billy, yes. Billy is walking through the town. He's saying hi to everybody. There's a part where he says hello to Dr. Moreau, which is a head nod to the 1896 science fiction movie, The Island of Dr. Moreau. So there's like these little things throughout the movie that are kind of like, a nod to this, nod to that. Judd Nelson and Emilio Estevez were both considered for the role of Billy, which I thought was interesting. I do like that they didn't play that it was this guy. He had the wholesomeness about him
He looked very innocent. His
Mhm.
face was a baby, but you could tell that he was just like a new adult.
Yeah.
And but he was like a good character.
Mhm.
He was very like, it fit him. He
Yeah.
looked like the bank teller. He looked like the guy who had the crush on his coworker.
Yeah.
Who was Phoebe Cates, and you had trivia about her too,
Yeah.
because they all worked at the bank.
Uh-huh.
And Phoebe Cates too. It's like they're all struggling families in the movie, because Billy is like the kind of the breadwinner for his family, because his dad is the inventor and doesn't make money, and all the stuff that he has is just doesn't work right. And they kind of laugh it off, which I think is cute.
Yeah,
but he works.
That mom loves her husband.
Yeah, she's all there using
loves
the bag
him.
juicer and the egg cracker that's crap and everything.
Yeah.
And Judge Reinhold works in the bank too, and he's rude. And but they're all like working class people, kind of.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They're all working
Mhm.
class people. But what I was gonna say is that Judge Reinhold and Phoebe Cates were both in Fast Times at Ridgemont High before this movie. And Phoebe Cates, I don't remember who it was, but the powers that be or whatever didn't want to cast Phoebe Cates in this, because the character, speaking of wholesome, is supposed to be this very down to earth, wholesome kind of character. And of course, in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I don't think there was anything even wrong with her character of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. But I guess it was a little too risque.
Was naughty. Yeah, she was in a bikini, and Judge Reinhold was the one, like, staring at her and whatever, having his good times. But yeah, she didn't do anything. But she looks so wholesome. She has a little baby face. She's very sweet. Billy ends up asking her out for like the first time, and it was like the whole time, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And then he finally ends up asking her, and then this shit goes down. So what happens now is the little Stripe, that's what they're calling him, the gremlin, he takes off. And let's see here, the mom, he takes the mom over to a friend's house, and they follow the little guy, the gremlin. Why do I keep calling him a little guy? They follow the gremlin, him and Phoebe Cates, and they find him at the YMCA. And that's when you're like, oh, and my daughter and child, like, what's the YMCA? I'm like, that's where you go to swim. That's all I know about it, because I didn't ever go to the YMCA.
Well, there's still YMCAs. They're very popular.
Like, not down here. Like, I never saw one.
They're very popular up here.
Yeah, in North Texas was the first time I saw one. But the only thing I ever knew about him was that where you took swim lessons. Julia Roberts learned how to swim at the YMCA when she escaped that bad husband of hers in Sleeping with the Enemy. That's how come I knew those little stupid details. So anyway, he makes it there, and he jumps in the water. And of course, we know you're not supposed to have water on you. And he turns into a million of the things. Not really a million. It's a lot. And then they show him. And then that's when Dahlia mentioned that you can see all of them with this stop motion animation.
Adorable.
Isn't
But
it cute?
they are adorable. But see, here's the thing. They go to the movie theater and they watch Snow White, which they are enjoying. And that's what I love about that scene. They're loving it. Of course, they're all kind of throwing popcorn at each other and candy and all that. And that was a really cute scene because, I mean, yeah, they're causing trouble and they're like tormenting everybody there, but they were enjoying Snow White. White. It's like
so many questions that I had when I was a kid watching this because, okay. So what happens is they start wreaking havoc throughout the town. And one of their first victims is that Mrs. Deagle, because she's an asshole. And they sent her, why was it she was like she had the mobile chair that goes up the stairs. And I'm like, the only reason they had that was so that they could send her shooting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what I do like is Billy and Phoebe Cates' character. What is her name in it? Is it Lynn? No, it's not Lynn. I can't remember her character name, but they both go to the police. I'm like, they were smart. They go to the police who don't believe them, but while they're there, they show you. They show the Mogwai. It's Kate. Kate. It's just Kate. Okay, that's why I didn't remember it. And so they're talking to.
Apologies to all the Kates out there that are listening.
Sorry. And because it's just easy, her name, Phoebe Cates, and her name is Kate. That's why I was making the reference.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. Oh my God.
Anyway, so they go to the police who don't believe them until they start getting phone calls. But there is just mischief going on all over the town. All over the town, they're starting fires. But my questions were always, as a kid, they're like a day old. They can all speak English. They can all... They all have each individual personality.
Exactly. They are born with attitude.
And they can talk
automatically.
And there's so many of them. Which was your favorite gremlin? Because they each made them with distinct personalities. They each were doing something funny. And my favorite one was, I'll let you think about it because I always know which one. Was the little one who had the ski mask on.
Oh my God, yes.
What's that thing called? The balaclava?
The balaclava.
No. Balaclava. Okay. We don't know the word. And
that's so embarrassing. I have to look it up.
He doesn't just have a gun. Why am I doing this? He has a teeny tiny gun in his hand. And Phoebe Cates is working at the bar and she's serving drinks to them, frantically trying not to get murdered by the little gremlins and serving up everybody fast. And for some reason, this little gremlin comes swinging in and has this tiny gun, is holding her up, and she's terrified.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to get out of this? And it's the funniest, cutest thing.
Okay. I got it. It is a balaclava.
You were
I'm sure the accent is somewhere in there, and I don't know exactly, but it's Bala, BALACLAVA, balaclava. But I was going to say, I read this in the trivia that there's a part where she screams in the scene where she's serving all the drinks. That is a real scream because the cockroach ran across in front of her, and she screamed for real, and they just kept it in. So,
oh my gosh, that's why she sounded so realistic.
Yeah.
Bianca also agrees that her favorite gremlins are the ones at the bar making a mess. They were hilarious. They had this like poker game going on.
The dancing with the leg warmers.
Flash dance. Gremlin is dancing. There's one swinging on the it was hysterical.
It was great.
The one's having the poker game. Stripe has a girlfriend. And she has like a mink stole on. And he tells on the gremlin who's cheating to her left, and he shoots and kills the gremlin. It's like, they got guns. They got guns. They have guns. They're playing poker. How do they know how to do all these things?
Oh my God.
They're 1 day old. I mean, so
that's funny.
And they're all eating and everything. So she manages to escape with him. And they've made all of these. And what happens is Billy rescues her. Phoebe Cates, well, she was already out the door pretty much. Yep. Kate, and they hide in an abandoned bank where Kate reveals to Billy and Gizmo why she hates Christmas. She had said that she wasn't into Christmas. And when she tells the story, which is a story that I had actually remembered apart from the movie, which always stuck with me. And I could never remember where I heard the story. And it's in this movie. Her father, when she was 9 years old, went missing on Christmas Eve and did not come home on Christmas Day. Several days later, he was found in their chimney while dressed as Santa Claus. She said the cops were looking for him. They came home and they smelled an odor, and they discovered her father had passed away trying to surprise the family with the gifts, and that's why she doesn't like Santa. And it's like, and he was giving her a hard time.
Well,
about
she's the
not
one that
being
actually smelled it. That's what's sad about it. When she went to
Yeah.
go light it, that's really sad.
And I thought this was a real story because I had heard it when I was a kid.
Well,
And
because it does happen in real life, actually. I've read a few
Mm.
cases, sadly, that it has happened. Usually, though, and it's not usually, I'll just say that the ones that I've heard, it's somebody trying to break into the house. Unfortunately, they get
Okay.
stuck in there.
And I've seen videos of people getting stuck in
Yeah.
chimneys and having to call 911 and
Mhm.
everything. So yeah, it's believable.
But that's her
Because-
story, and that's why she hates
Uh-huh.
Christmas, and now she's really gonna hate Christmas after this.
Yeah, and so now they head out because they're like, we need to do something about this, get help, whatever. And when they go out, it is completely quiet, and they realize it's because the sun is coming up soon. So they probably look for somewhere dark to go hide out. And that's when they went to the movie theater to go watch Snow White, and they're having a good time. Come on, guy. All my cats are visiting me. And,
I like how you call them Guy. Come on, Guy.
well, they're like little people, you know. Why don't they talk? They just be like little buttheads singing all
No,
day.
no. If my
Can you
animals
imagine?
talked, oh, I'd be
That-
horrified. Because all the things that I do in front of them, they're gonna go and tell everybody. The songs I sing and the stupid dances I do. And
Oh
the things
yeah,
that-
and they see us
the
doing it.
secrets. The secrets.
Yeah, and they're always like in your business. They don't give you any privacy. Oh
Never.
gosh, they would be like, "Go put a towel on, mom."
Oh,
Right?
God.
Okay, so they have a good plan because when they get into the movie theater,
Mhm.
it's really cool. They're like, let's make the Molotov cocktails and let's burn the little.
That's so. I mean, they have to
They-
because
they
they're
always
not
do this in
good
movies.
animals, but God, they're so ready to like kill them.
Every movie, it's like they always know, hey, if we put a little bit of flammable liquid in a bottle, where are they getting these freaking bottles from?
Oh my
And how do
God.
they know that when they light the little rag that's hanging out that it's not going to burn them? And so, of course, they set the place on fire,
Hmm.
and one escapes, which is Stripe again, because he is the master of them all, like
Of
the
course.
super gremlin, super
Super,
smart.
super.
And so they burn. They just all burn down the movie theater and they all die in there. What if some of them were good?
They weren't.
Some of them could have been friendly. They don't know that. He didn't
If they
introduce them.
weren't saying anything about the bad ones, then they're part of the problem.
They're part of the problem. Okay, I see. Okay, so
I was definitely talking about gremlins here, not anything else.
okay, so what happens is they end up breaking Stripe gets away and he breaks in to the Montgomery Ward. And I wanted to mention the Montgomery Ward because it's been forever since I've heard Montgomery Ward store across the street. And as
Oh my
morning
God.
approaches, Billy chases him in there and they catch him there. But the thing is funny is that Montgomery Ward is like, it's nostalgic because I don't even remember if there was even one that existed when I was a kid. I don't know.
There was,
there
was. But I was about to look up, keep talking. I was about to look
Uh-huh.
up when they went out of business.
Because they had toys and stuff like that, like as a department store, and it was really cute because at one point, like what's his name, Gizmo is driving around in his little Barbie car, super cute, and Stripe is just wreaking havoc all throughout the store. And it reminded me of the ghost story that we heard from the toy store where they had the video footage in the 80s of the
That was Toys R
movie.
Us. That was
it
Toys
was?
R Us. Yeah, that was a Toys R Us store. Not saying that I believe it actually happened, but
But it did.
it was in what was the show?
Was it Ripley's or was
Ripley,
it Unsolved
no,
Mysteries?
it wasn't Ripley's, and it wasn't that. It was a different show. I can't remember what it was called. But
Mhm.
anyway, so yeah, they had footage of a ghost.
But it was
haunting
footage.
us.
Why you put it in quotation marks? It was actual video, man. What's the
Okay.
quotations for?
Okay, they had footage of a ghost
She's still doing it.
haunting a Toys R Us. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that story because it scared me
And
when I was
this is
little.
what reminded we see these. Well, we didn't have internet. It's not like we could look stuff up. We weren't stupid. We just didn't have the internet. Okay. Every time Dolly and I wanted to look up if something was true, we went to the public library across
Oh
the
my
street.
God, the things
We
we
had
learned
to
from encyclopedias.
Actually research stuff in encyclopedias. We learned games from encyclopedias and
Oh,
stuff.
that's so
Man,
sad.
it
I
is
re-
kind of sad.
We looked up games on the G encyclopedia.
And we've told this story before because
Yeah.
that's how we learned the game Bullshit. And I didn't know it was called Bullshit because we learned to play it from an encyclopedia. And the game was called I Don't Believe You. And we played this growing up until our adulthood. And we would say, you know, I don't believe you when you put the card down instead of bullshit. And so what happened was I embarrassed my ass because someone said, let's play this game. And I was like, what is it? How do you play it? And they're like, you've never played BS? And I'm like, no, this is new. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, no, that's called I Don't Believe You. So encyclopedias. And when we want to learn about ghosts, we went to the ghost section of the encyclopedia. Supernatural went to the S.
Oh my
There
God,
was
it
a point
fun.
here.
Good time.
You were
What was
looking
that?
something up. I don't even remember.
Oh, I wanted to look up when Montgomery Ward went out of business, but it's very kind of vague. It doesn't really say when it did. So anyways, but yeah, there was a Montgomery Ward. It wasn't actually in Harlingen. I think it was in Brownsville. And we used to like looking through the, what do they call it? The catalog, pointing at things that we wanted, like we were actually going to get it. Like for Christmas, before Christmas, the Christmas one that would come out, it's like, ooh, I
We're
want
telling
that.
Debbie Downer stories again. We're telling
Okay.
more.
Well, but you know, every kid does that, and every kid isn't going to get everything they want. So, well, maybe not every kid. And but I remember pointing at things and like I want that, I want that. But one time, we actually got something from Montgomery Ward, and it was our Cabbage Patch dolls came from Montgomery Ward. I remember that.
And you know what we got to do now? Because Sheree said we're going to have to pull out the encyclopedia to get the official rules on I Don't Believe You so we can play together. You've never played it either. But see, we wouldn't have known how to play that if we hadn't gone to the public library. So is this like are we being sponsored by the public library?
Okay, all right. So, all right, moving on.
Okay, so Stripe is in there. It's just nostalgic. Yes. I love the movies when you can see the old mall styles in department stores in the 80s and 90s are the best.
Yeah.
So Gizmo is in there, and I think at some point they had contacted the dad. It doesn't say in the synopsis, but I know they did. And they told him to get his ass home. So as morning approaches, they chase Stripe into the store, and they see that he's going to jump into a water fountain to spawn more gremlins. Gizmo opens a skylight, exposing Stripe to sunlight. Okay, and this is what eventually kills him, but it takes a while. Like it's really drawn out. He jumps into the water fountain. The water starts bubbling over and bubbling and everything. As the sun comes in, it's like this green, foaming, bubbling, huge, disgusting mess of soup. I think my daughter called it gremlin soup.
Yeah.
But the effects were so good. I loved it. And then like they do one of those final jump scares where its skeleton leaps out and screams out of the water fountain.
That part has always creeped me the shit out. Even now as an adult, when I looked at that, I'm like, that's pretty disgusting. But it's also kind of funny because I had just finished watching a video of this guy making pozole. And you know how you always have to skim?
Why are you going to run pozole for me?
Sorry. So you know how you have to skim when you're cooking any kind of protein? You have to skim the protein, the scuzz that comes on the top. You have to skim that off. That's what it reminded me of. I was like looking, I was like, oh, it's like the pozole.
That's not good.
and then And then I pulled out my phone, like, this is the pozole we had in Mexico City, and it was really good.
had
This is the
green
green
pozole.
pozole. I had green
just
pozole.
like the gremlin soup, and now I see that. But it looked amazing, and now I won't eat green pozole. I'll stick to the red one though.
But
that's
I
good.
thought you ate the clear one. Or
I only eat the clear one because it's a nice, like
oh, it didn't have
everyday
peppers
soup.
because your throat was hurting. That's right. I remember
My
now.
throat.
Okay.
So it's like an everyday pozole.
Okay.
So anyway,
Strike
they,
is dead now.
yes, the completely dead. They made sure to show us his skeleton flopping on the ground and dissolving into soup. And so they get home, and the dad is back home, and they're listening to the news, and it's like, oh, mayhem ruined the town. And why are they saying it so cheerfully and jolly? People
are
died.
dead.
People died.
Not only, but infrastructure is ruined.
Yes, they burned down buildings. They cut street lights. They were turning off and shutting down the power to the town.
Yeah.
These things could have gone out into the world and completely destroyed the whole world. And they're over here talking about it on the news, like, oh, some fires were out. Fires anyway. So the dad is home, and they're celebrating Christmas together. And the man from the shop shows up to retrieve his mogwai, and he gives them a good talking to first. Like,
ooh,
you guys were irresponsible. I warned you, because the dad says, I guess you want it. This is the man that I bought the mogwai
he didn't
from.
buy from him.
And he corrects him. He says, no, you didn't. Exactly. Dalia said it. He says, no, you did not buy. And he's like, he knew that he didn't want to sell that mogwai, and he knew he did that like illegal.
And he let the grandson come out and give it to him.
And he knew that was wrong, and he didn't listen to the rules and everything. So he takes him back, and he has the little box where he goes in, and he's so cute because he knows. I was like, you know what? Also, they took him from his dad. That was his dad.
I didn't even think of it that way. That is sad.
And he says, bye, Billy. He learned his name and everything, but he was happy to leave. You know why? Because he was getting tortured. He was screaming in pain.
Oh my God. But even when they were still the cute little mogwai, he was outcasted from them, and he would look at them like kind of like nervous and scared, a little bit timid. So even when they were like him, he was already like, before they turned into gremlins. But yeah, they were torturing him, and then I'm sure his anxiety was up and the stress and all that. Now he's going to go back home with his daddy and just be this cute little thing in the little antique shop or whatever the fuck that was. And yeah, his daddy knows how to take care of him.
Yes, and they leave it kind of open-ended for a second one by saying, maybe one day you'll be responsible enough to take care of this. Well, guess what? He wasn't again. Why didn't they give him a second chance?
But the talking they got to, I wish I could remember what exactly he said, but he's basically saying, you fucking colonizers fucked up again. Coming stealing shit that isn't yours. Fucking up everything.
And they experimented on him. They made him a lab rat. They made the other little baby a lab rat.
Yeah.
They turned that other one evil. And poor Mr. Hansen was killed. The science teacher.
Okay, yeah.
Because he started off good. He was cute.
He was liking him and all that. So
okay,
right.
So that was it. That was the whole movie, the grossness, the goodness, and it is a horror movie.
It is. It's a comedy. It's a comedy. It's a comedy horror. It's a comedy horror. But okay, so I got some trivia here. Okay, so this is horrible. An earlier attempt to have monkeys play the gremlins was abandoned because the test monkey panicked when made to wear a gremlin head.
Okay. That's awful. You chose to share it. No, you know what? This is how we learn. We learn from history because of the stupid shit people are doing all the time. See, there's so much realism in this movie, okay? Because look at it. We just feel like we're entitled to shit. And one of the dumb comments the dad made too, because they made him kind of like, he said there could be one of these in every kid's home in America.
Yeah. And he was ready to profit off that. And
to exploit this tiny creature from not following the rules. There's a reason there were rules, you ass.
Yeah. Exactly.
Any more horrible trivia?
In Cantonese, mogwai means devil, demon, or gremlin. The Mandarin pronunciation is, and I'm going to fuck this up. I apologize for all Mandarin speakers out there. Mogwai? The film was released on the same day as Ghostbusters. It came in second to
Ooh.
Ghostbusters. No, it was fourth. I'm sorry. In the bar scene, the video game the Gremlin is playing is Star Wars.
Mhm.
Of
He was
using
playing
that,
video games. Again, they can play video games.
okay.
They're a day old.
Oh my God. Okay. And I did not know this, but I know from looking at it that I always thought this. Gizmo was the inspiration for the Furby, multi-million selling mechanical stuffed animal in the late 1990s. So it was inspiration for it. At the beginning, I already said that. Oh, human body count confirmed is 4. That means we know for a fact 4 people died. More people
Probably a lot
probably died.
more. Because Mr. Hanson, the science teacher, died. Mrs. Diggity flew out the window. And I think those 2 people, remember they have the racist neighbor. And that remember
that's the other thing I was going to talk about too, but okay.
talking stuff about foreigners and all this.
Yes, I had that in my
he
notes.
was the racist neighbor. Him and the wife were both run over by the snowplow.
Okay.
So and there probably were a bunch of people because there were no people in that town by the time they went out there to go looking for the gremlins in the middle of the night.
But
Probably
yeah, that's all the trivia I have. I did have more, but for some reason it's not pulling up. I put it in my notes on the outline, but I just can't find it. It was about Jingo. I can't find it. It was good. It was good trivia. Now I feel bad that I can't pull it
I
up.
like to hung up on stuff like that. I'm like,
I do. And I'm like, it's killing me right now that I can't find it. I want to cry.
But it's obvious that it
Talk,
looks like
Alma, talk so I can find it.
Let's talk more about gremlins.
No, tell me your favorite holiday horror movie because you like you've watched quite a few.
Well, because I like to get in the spirit of everything. I'll find any reason to do anything. But because first of all, I have a whole bunch of family Christmas movies that we watch. I freaking love. I also love kid movies and family like cartoons and crap like that. And for like the holidays right now, I just put on whatever is related to even remotely Christmas. So first of all, we started with Edward Scissorhands. Of course, we watch Edward Scissorhands.
I haven't seen that in a while, but I don't like his name, but I'll have to put that aside.
Anthony Michael Hall is a butthead in it, and I like to watch it because it was one of the first movies where he was like just openly like he's just like a big jerk in it.
A jerk.
And I thought he played a really good jerk, and so that's why I loved it. Krampus, I rewatched that. I consider like if you consider movies that happen around the holidays, Dead End is one that came out.
I saw that on the list. I saw it on the list.
Going home for Christmas or something like that. That movie is really good. I liked it. It was a really
depressing as shit.
Yes, but it was like it was a lot of surprise. Like, what's going on here? The whole movie are like that. It's a really good one. The Lodge from 2019. A Christmas Horror Story with William Shatner, Julian Richings. Now, I'm not sure if everybody will catch the Julian Richings, but I love Julian Richings. He played Death on Supernatural.
Oh yeah.
He was the coolest, most badass actor.
I like him.
He's in tons of stuff. Recently, he was in Vicious Fun. And the actor, he just has this presence to him that is just so, he's magnificent. He was in Urban Legend as well, where he played the custodian in it. And
he did.
Remember we talked about how they kept calling him the creepy custodian? And I'm like, he must be creepy.
Stop calling him a creep.
Yeah, stop calling people creeps. And of course, Black Friday was one that I just only watched recently. Did it come out this year? Why did I not hear about it? It has Devon Sawa in it, Bruce Campbell. And it's like the Black Friday sale is coming out. And
you told me to watch it. I haven't heard of it before.
They're in the toy store. And I just loved it. It was great because I like a movie that you like don't take yourself too seriously. And but the effects in it were so good and it's really fun. And I was like, I'm putting this on to get into the holiday spirit while after just watching The Grinch and and then Polar Express, which I'll watch a bunch of times. I love the first 2 Santa Clauses that I'll watch. Those are non-horror, of course. but maybe they aren't.
Mm.
Santa Claus dies in the Santa Claus movie. Okay, everyone. It's a horror movie.
Oh my God, what the
Oh my
hell?
gosh. You know what's so funny? Okay, so Bianca mentioned Friday After Next. I watch Friday After Next because I have to do both. And why? I don't know why I have to do that. Because if it's a sequel, I have to
Uh-huh.
watch the first one.
Uh-huh.
And so a lot of them. So do you have any like non-horror,
Me?
non-holiday, but Christmas movies you watch? Like, because during
Well,
this time of year, a lot of people will watch movies again and again
yeah.
because they're comfort movies. So they're not
Yes.
necessarily
Uh-huh.
holiday movies, you know?
I watch I don't watch a lot of holiday. I do want to say though, okay, so I'll say my movies that I watch that are not horror because I don't watch holiday horror really. But I always watch every year Elf. I always watch
I always
A
watch Elf.
Christmas Story. And I'm missing another one, but those two movies I always watch. I just have to watch them. They're for me, that's like the holiday season, but really I don't watch much holiday movies in general. I know my oldest, Clara, she went through this stage where every year she was watching the Lifetime movie. Like
Yes, I get
they
that.
start like in November and they just like it's all
I was
the
addicted to the Lifetime network for like 5 years, and I watched everything that came
but
out.
they do the
I had to
holiday
stop.
movies during the November and
And the Hallmark
December.
ones. I didn't watch the Hallmark. I watched the Lifetime ones.
Oh no, you're right. The Hallmark. That's right. It was Hallmark or Lifetime, whatever. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. It's those. But yeah, I don't really watch really any holiday movies.
It's just movies that we watch this time of year, pretty much.
Yeah.
But with me, I do have a lot of Christmas ones.
Trying to
I like the
think
Grinch. I like the animated one, and I like the original one. And so, it's just I like them. I like them all. And I'll watch anything right now if it's just happens around this holiday time. Like, is it have anything related? I'm like, no, it has to be Christmas. It has to be holiday related.
Oh,
so
sorry. Go ahead.
no, so that's all I was saying. Was that
No, but yeah, I
holiday-
know. That's why I asked you because I know that you watch a lot of. You are like the perfect tia for my kids because you like all those movies and stuff like that. Like all the
Yeah, I
kid
can always
movies,
find something
the
that I like
animated.
with anybody.
And I
Mhm.
think that's so adorable. Me, I'm like,
Yeah, like on Thanksgiving Day, we were watching Nightmare Before Christmas and all those. So Steel Magnolias. Oh my gosh, that is
you, Bianca, you're making her cry just saying Steel
because
Magnolias.
that movie, Julia Roberts. Don't get me started.
And Meet Me in St. Louis. I don't think I've seen Meet Me in St. Louis.
I
But
did
Steel
watch
Magnolias, yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen this black and white movie from the 40s or whatever.
Well, It's a Wonderful Life. This is interesting because A Wonderful Life, It's a Wonderful Life is very dark. It's a very fucking
is.
dark movie. And it always surprised me that it's the movie that is known as being a Christmas movie. I ended up, the way it became a Christmas movie is that when all the channels would do all their movies, like at certain times, they look for the cheapest movies or free movies to air. And I believe, if I remember correctly, It's a Wonderful Life had come out of being, what's it called? Copyrighted. So it was free.
Uh-huh.
It was free to show. So that's why during like when they were just started to do like all night, TV was on all night, they would run It's a Wonderful Life because it was free over and over and over. And then it just, and then they came into the holiday season, it was always playing. And then that's how it slowly came into our culture as being a Christmas movie because it was a free fucking movie. Not saying that it's not good. It is a good movie. But that's how it became
It wasn't
movie.
what I expected at all. It's just because I only watched it like 2 years ago for the first time. I'd never seen it.
Okay,
And I was like, this movie's depressing.
it is depressing. It is depressing.
Why did I think this was a holly jolly Christmas movie?
And Bianca says buy it in color, which I did not know that existed. I've only ever seen it in black and white.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it in black and white. I'd never seen it. But so I put that on my dark list because that way I watch a happy one and then you get your horror or your sad movies. Okay. And of course Gremlins is on it. And Daisy, our sister, wanted us to do this movie over and over all year.
She kept saying,
mentioning
and I was like,
two
it's not.
gremlins, two gremlins. And
Yeah,
we
I
were
was
like,
kept telling her it's not horror. It's not horror.
we were like, it's not with the theme. We're not doing that theme right now, but right now it's perfect. So I hope.
Well,
Hey,
I
where did
didn't.
we
I
find
didn't
it? Where
really
did you
count it
find
as. I didn't really count it as horror, but technically, I guess it is like
It
it's
is
a
a
comedy
dark-
horror.
It's a dark
yeah.
horror comedy, and it is.
Yeah.
And I just always like to throw that in there when people are dying. I'm like, people died. So come on. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah. I think I found it on Prime and it was streaming because I don't think I
Yes.
paid for it. Okay, so that's where you can find it. You can find it on wherever you stream your movies.
But it's
And
out there.
don't
it's
buy
out there.
it. Save your money
Or
for.
don't tell people not to buy it. If you want to buy it,
Oh, I guess you
buy a
can.
cool Blu-ray DVD that has all the extra shit on it.
Oh yeah.
You know, do that.
Treat yourself. What I meant was don't rent it and then you buy what you want this season. You know, treat yourself. You know, like I did with my Selena bobblehead. She's not a bobblehead. I keep saying bobblehead, but I'm not going to take her out of the package.
That's right.
Should I
She
take her
does.
out of the
Well, no,
package?
she does. You can.
Y'all, I have a bunch of Selena cups. I never take
Yeah.
them out of the package.
I
just
have.
can't do it.
I use
They're
mine.
wrapped.
I
have
use my
like
Selena
10.
shit.
I don't. I have them all in there.
You can't
They're
put
wrapped.
Selena in the corner like that. You gotta.
She's not on the corner. She's on the shelf. Look at her.
Okay. Okay. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. Okay. So the audio of this episode will be available on our podcast feed by next week. I believe the video for the YouTube is immediately available on YouTube. If you're watching this, you already know that. All right. And Alma, where can people find us on the interwebs?
You can go to our website, nightmaremoviepodcast.com. You can email us at nightmaremoviepodcast@gmail.com. Our Instagram is at nightmaremoviepodcast. Our Twitter is at Nightmare on 5th. That's Nightmare on 5th. And you can visit our Patreon page. Dahlia?
That is patreon.com/Nightmare Movie Podcast. And if you feel so inclined, go over there and become a member. And you know what? Bianca says, why don't we do a Selena live stream? And that sounds like fun. That sounds like a fun New Year's, like around the New Year fun thing.
Oh, wear my Selena shirt. I have us. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Bianca. We appreciate it. Bianca just said that she upgraded her Patreon membership. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. But yeah, I think that's a fun idea. It's not horror, but you know, we don't always have to do it. I mean, we'll put horror on our, the podcast feed, but these,
it's something I do. It's like there's like two themes. It's like I got my Selena shirt and I do like Selena stuff, like or we do horror movies. It's like I got two Selena mood or horror movie mood.
Okay. All right. So all right, we have to close this. Stop. So all right, that's it for us. But if you'd like to stick around afterwards, after we sign off, Alma doesn't even know this, but if you'd like to stick around after we sign off and listen to one of our favorite Christmas stories, we have it queued up and ready to play once we sign off. It's about 6 minutes long. So, but you'll enjoy it. You'll love it. Just stick around, watch it. And we hope you enjoyed as much as we do, but we also hope that you enjoyed this live stream of Gremlins. And thank you very much, and happy holidays to those that celebrate. And if you don't celebrate, happy December and New Year. And we look forward to coming back with more cool shit for you guys. Now, stick around for our fun Christmas story. All right, let me see if I can do that right now.
Oh, no.
Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? The vato with a bony knees, he's coming down the street with no shoes on his feet, and he's going to... No, that ain't it. Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? The guy with the hair on his jaws, Hey, man, come over here, man. I need some help, man.
Yeah, man, I can dig that. Like, what are you doing, man?
I'm trying to write a song about Santa Claus, man, but it's not coming out.
About who, man?
About Santa Claus, man. You know Santa Claus,
Oh,
man?
yeah, man. I played with
it's
those dudes, man.
What?
Yeah, last year at the Fillmore, man. Me and the bass player sat in, man. It was a
Oh,
good
hey, man,
session,
you think Santa Claus is a groove, huh? No, it's not a groove, man.
Would they break up, man?
Oh, no, man, it's one guy, man. You know, he had a red suit on, man, with black patent leather shoes. You know the guy, man?
Oh, yeah. He's with Motown, ain't he?
No, man.
Yeah, I
he's
played
not-
with that dude, too, man.
No,
yeah, he's a
man.
good singer, man.
No, hold on, man. He's not with Motown, man.
Well, then he's with Buddha, man.
Oh, man, you don't know who Santa Claus is, man.
Yeah, well, I'm not from here, man. Like, I'm from Pittsburgh, man. I don't know too many local dudes.
Oh, I see. Well, hey, man, sit back and relax, and I'll tell you the story about Santa Claus, man. Listen, once upon a time, about 5 years ago, there was this groovy dude, and his name was Santa Claus, you know? And he used to live over in the projects with his old lady. And they had a pretty good thing together because his old lady was really fine, and she could cook and all that stuff like that. You know, like she made the best brownies in town, man. Oh, I could remember them now, man. I could eat one of them, man.
Wow, did you know these people, man?
Oh, yeah, man. They used to live next door to me, you know, until they got kicked out, man.
What, they got kicked out of the projects, man?
Yeah, you know what happened, man? They used to live with all these midgets, you know? And the midgets used to make a lot of noise, you know, like pounding and hammering and pounding all night, man. Wow.
Typical freaks,
Oh,
man.
yeah, man. They were really freaks, man. As a matter of fact, they all moved up north together, you know?
Oh, they have to go get their head together, man.
Yeah, get their head together, man. And they started a commune, you know? It was called the Santa Claus and His Old Lady commune. It was a real famous one up there, man. And they used to sit around and groove all the time, you know?
Oh, yeah?
Really good time, man.
Hey,
They used
that
to
sounds
eat the-
heavy.
Yeah, eat the brownies, man. They drink the tea, man. And what they did most of the time, though, was make a lot of goodies, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And they had everything they needed. They only needed to come into town maybe once a year or something like that. you
Pick up the welfare check and the food stamp.
yeah. Man. No, what they did, man, is once a year, when they made all the goodies, you know, they used to put them in a big chopping bag, and then they used to take the chopping bag and deliver them to all the boys and girls all the way around the world,
Hey,
man.
well, that's it, man.
Yeah,
That sounds
they were
real nice.
groovy. Oh, yeah, they were really nice people, man. And so much class, man. They had so much class, you know, like even take the way they used to deliver the toys, you know. It's like Santa Claus used to have this really sharp short, man, you know. It was lowered to the ground, had twice pipes, candy apple red, and button top. Ooh, clean.
Yeah, that sounds like a hip snowmobile, man.
No, it wasn't a snowmobile. It was a sled, you know. One of those big sleds, you know. And he used to have it pulled by some reindeers, you know, like reindeers.
Some what, man?
Some reindeers, you know. He used to hook them onto the sled, and then he used to stand up inside the sled and hold onto the reins, and then call out their names like on Donner, on Blitzen, on Chewy, on Tavo, come on, Beto. And then the reindeers used to take off into the sky and fly across the sky, man.
Wow, man, that's far out, man.
Yeah, and then when they flied across the sky, they used to come down to places like Chicago, LA, Nueva York, and Pacoima, and all those places, you know, and then land on top of people's roofs, and then old Santa Claus would make himself real small, you know, like a real small guy, and he'd come down the chimney, and then he would give you all the stuff that he made, man. And dig this, man, he did it all in one night, man.
Hey, just a minute, man. Now, how'd he do that, man?
Oh, well, man, he took the freeway. How else,
No,
man?
man. No, man. How did he do all that other stuff, man? Like, how'd he make himself small, man? And how'd he get the reindeer off the ground, man?
Oh, well, man, he had some magic dust, man.
Some magic dust?
Yeah, magic dust. You know, he used to give a little bit to the reindeer, a little bit to Santa Claus, a little bit more for Santa Claus, a little bit more.
And this would get the reindeer off, man?
Oh, got him off, man. Are you kidding, man? They flew all the way around the world, man.
Hey, that's far out, man. Hey, how come I've never met this dude, man?
Oh, man, he doesn't do that bit anymore, man. It got too dangerous, man.
Yeah, I can dig that, man, because that's a dangerous bit, man.
Yeah, let me tell you, it sure was, man. Like just 2 years ago, man, he got stopped at the border, you know, and they took him into another room and took off his clothes, man, and searched him and searched his bag of goodies, man. And then when he was leaving, man, he was flying through the air, somebody took a shot at his reindeer, you know?
Oh, that's a drag,
Yeah,
man.
it really was, man. And then, man, he went down south, man, and they tried to cut off his hair and his beard, man. And all the time he was getting stopped and pulled over and asked for his ID, man. Just everywhere he went, he ran into too much recession, man.
No, man, you mean he ran into too much repression, man.
Repression, recession, man. It's all the same thing, man.
Yeah, man. Like, it's a drag, man, because we could sure use a dude like that right now.
You know, oh, well, he still comes around, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but he comes in disguises now.
Oh, he went underground.
Yeah, underground, man.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah. Hey, but you want to see his disguise, man? Nobody would ever know it was him, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's got a job in front of the department store, ringing this bell and playing this tambourine next to this black pot, you know?
Oh, I seen the dude.
Yeah,
man.
you know who I'm talking about,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I played with that cat last year, man.
What?
Yeah, we played in front of a store, man. We made a lot of
Oh,
bread,
hey,
man.
wait a minute, man. Santa Claus is not a musician, man.
I'm hip, man. That cat didn't know any tunes, man.
Oh, hey, wait a minute, man. No, he's not into that at all, man.
No, I played with this dude.
Are you sure, man?